Pretend this yard is YouTube, and this tree right here, this cute little baby orange tree, is your YouTube channel. When you're first starting out on YouTube and you're just growing a new channel, you have two approaches. One, you can kind of wait for the sprinklers to turn on and hopefully water this new tree, or you could do it more effectively. So in this metaphorical example, the water that you use to grow your tree are the videos that you are going to create on your YouTube channel. If you don't have a target audience, if you don't have a niche, if you don't have an overall theme for your channel, then you're kind of just uploading videos very, very broadly, and you're kind of just hoping that something sticks. Whereas if you did have a target audience and you did have a niche, then it would be so much easier for you to be effective with the time and the resources and energy that you're going to be dedicating to building your YouTube channel. It's not impossible to build a YouTube channel without a target audience or a niche, but it's going to be very hard, especially in the beginning, to build momentum to grow your channel. As your YouTube coach, I want you to be as effective as possible. I want you to get that momentum as quickly as you can and find your stride, because YouTube is the long game, and even when you do find that niche, there's still so much to learn, there's still so much content to create. You can totally branch out later, but having a niche and a target audience is just going to make things a lot more easier for you as a creator to figure out what kind of content to create, but also for your audience, so that when someone new discovers your channel, they'll immediately be able to tell whether this channel is something they want to subscribe to or not. And don't worry about the people who aren't interested in your YouTube channel. That doesn't mean that everyone isn't interested in your YouTube channel. It's just your content isn't going to be for everyone. That's not a bad thing. That's a really, really good thing, because again, we want to try to build momentum with a specific target market or niche. Now, what is a niche or niche, depending on where you're from? I like niche, so I'm going to say that. I don't think that's how we say it here in America, but anyway, a niche is a specific segment in the market. So if you are just starting out, or you've been on YouTube for a little bit and you still can't describe or convey what your niche is or who your target audience is, then this video is for you. Today, I'm going to be sharing 5 tips to help you narrow down your niche. Tip number 1, establish your brand vision. Branding, branding, branding. It's all about the branding. I think it's super important that when you start at a YouTube channel, you actually take the time, get a notebook, get a pen or pencil, and write what things look like when you are successful, however you define that. Maybe that's 100,000 subscribers, $100,000 in revenue, whatever it is, 1 million subscribers. Let's go big. What do things look like? What are you known for? What kind of content do you see on your channel? Who is subscribed to you? If someone were to introduce you on stage, say at VidCon or something like that, how would they introduce you? What would you be known for? And you might not know every single aspect of that yet, but if you do know and you kind of dedicate time to figuring out what your end goal is, then it's going to be so much easier to make that end goal a reality, because really all you have to do is kind of work backwards. If you want to be the YouTube channel that teaches college students how to make cheap and healthy meals while they're living in the dorms, there you go. So then you get invited to college campuses, you can do talks there. You can sell recipe books and stuff like that. So that's the first way that you can think about a niche. What do you want to be known for? The second thing is, what is the topic that you specialize in? And again, you have to be specific. It can't just be tutorials or vlogs or gaming or beauty. You definitely have to go more specific than that. There is so much content. There's so much content on YouTube, but if you can fragment, right, and get more specific, then it is going to be easier for you to build momentum, because there's a very specific audience that has a very specific need that you can address, like all of those needs. Maybe you start out broad within a topic, but try to narrow down with every with every video that you create, maybe you do need to wait for the audience to respond, to comment, to give you feedback. Like, they'll tell you what they want more content about, and then they'll start to show what they all have in common so you can narrow down to that topic. Going off of that, number 3, you can also think of a niche as a community of people or a target audience. So maybe you have a YouTube channel that teaches business owners how to start and build their YouTube channels, or solopreneurs or entrepreneurs or creatives. Maybe it's demographics, so female millennials, recently retired people, first-time home buyers. The 4th way that you can think about a niche is that maybe it's not a group of people necessarily that have things in common, but rather they have shared beliefs. I saw this a lot when I started my vlog channel because I was just documenting my journey as an entrepreneur, not necessarily for anyone in particular, but I was just putting my story out there. And I found that it was people from all over who resonated with my channel, which was really frustrating to me as a newbie entrepreneur because I kept hearing about target audience. And I was like, I have 50-year-olds and 20-year-olds watching my channel. They're very, very different from each other. But what I realized between my audience was they all had this shared belief in me trying to do something that I didn't realize I could do, or they liked the idea of watching me create something out of nothing, to see me, someone who has no business experience, try to build a business and figure it out as I go. Even on this YouTube channel, I have people who are following me that are business owners. I have people that are following me that do this just as a hobby. I have people that are following me who haven't started their YouTube channel yet, or are just starting, or are a little more further ahead. So you can say that, YouTube and building a YouTube channel is the thing that makes them all a community. But for me, in terms of my belief, is that I believe that everyone has a story worth sharing. And sometimes it's hard for someone to put themselves out there, to get in front of the camera, to build an audience. That's not something that comes naturally to everyone. And I incorporate that as part of my philosophy with this YouTube channel. And I hope that it does come through in the content that I create, because that's how I take pride in how my channel is different from the other YouTube experts and coaches out there. So what's your motto? What's your tagline? We could think of the most famous tagline in the world, in my opinion, which is just do it. With all of Nike's content, all they do is show people overcoming adversity, smashing their goals, overcoming obstacles, and stuff like that. So even though their content could be about a lot of different things, there's still that unifying shared belief that comes through with every piece of content they create. And lastly, tip number 5, I kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but get data. Maybe you still have to make a few videos and get data. Maybe you just have to experiment with making all different kinds of videos until you get the data to see what you feel the most comfortable with creating, and also what resonates with your viewers. To me, the most important data point is how much fun that you as a creator are having with creating that content, because as I always say, YouTube is a long game. We are going to be making hundreds of YouTube videos about the same theme. So if you can figure out a format, a delivery, a topic, a theme, something that kind of glues all your content together, something that they all have in common, but you can make a ton of that until forever and you still have fun with it, that's the most important part. But it definitely helps to get feedback from an audience as well. None of this has to be set in stone from the get-go. Your vision is going to evolve. I'll tell you that right now. It might evolve several times. Even if you think you know where you're going, as soon as you get your first 1,000 subscribers, let's say, you're gonna start to pivot. There's gonna be this whole different side of things that you hadn't seen before because you didn't have the experience, you didn't have the insight, you didn't have the perspective, and none of that is gonna come until you get to that point. The important thing is to just put a stake in the sand, head in that direction, and then adapt as you go, but still be as specific as you can with the content that you create and all of your messaging, so that you can start building that momentum to really grow your channel as effectively as possible. Now, if you want to take a break from tutorials that teach you about how to grow your YouTube channel, you can check out this vlog on my vlog channel about how that baby orange tree in my backyard came to be. My boyfriend and I actually planted that tree when I officially moved in with him here at our house. So go and check that out. All right, catch you guys later. Bye.